If you're tackling the Blooming Acres Farm Square in Romanceopoly 2025, which is our year-long reading challenge, then you're in for some earthy vibes, emotional tension, and at least one man who refuses to process his feelings unless he's wrangling livestock. Today I have 5 wildly different wrecks, from some grumpy farmers to tattooed cowboys and even a literal alien rancher, and all of them are going to bring the big rural romance energy that is perfect for this prompt in our reading challenge. So let's get into it. Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. Today, I am doing a Romanceopoly recommendations video. If you are not aware of our Romanceopoly reading challenge, you can find out more information at romanceopoly.com. But basically, it's a year-long reading challenge. There is a map that you go through and travel through 4 different towns, which are all seasonally themed. Every town has 5 main prompts that you go through, and there are also some optional holidays for that particular season. Everything has a specific prompt, and you're going to read a book that matches those prompts. For the prompt that I'm going to be discussing today, it's the Blooming Acres Farm prompt, which is to read a book that has either a cowboy or a farmer main character. And notice that there is no regulations as far as what genre you need to be reading, so you could actually pick up not just a contemporary romance, and I actually do have a sci-fi romance that is on this recommendation list, so you can see that you can make this fit whatever you are in the mood for reading. If you want a romance where the heroine's entire career implodes and then she falls for a ridiculously hot walnut farmer, then Nuts is the perfect foodie rom-com with an actual emotional core. Roxy is a burnt-out private chef who ends up back in her hometown running her mother's diner, and then Leo is this gorgeous, soft-spoken, organic farmer who delivers the produce like he's auditioning for a calendar shoot. He's deeply involved in the slow food movement, and he definitely takes his time in all things. This book is laugh-out-loud funny, is full of banter, and that farm-to-table energy, which is super flirty in this one. So if you like your small towns with a sexy, single dad farmer with plenty of steam and a side of sustainability, then Nuts is a must for your Blooming Acres farm prompt. Now for something completely different, let's go with a cowboy. A reformed bad boy cowboy, tattoo artist heroine, and the best friends to lovers with so much pining. In Branded as Trouble, Colt is 3 years sober and 3 years deep into being secretly in love with his best friend India. She is a colorful, badass tattoo artist who sees right through everyone except him. When the relationship turns into something much steamier, Colt wants something more than just a hookup. He actually wants a real future with her, and he's willing to take it slow if it means keeping her. This is part of Lorelei Jane's Rough Rider series, which I consider a must-read if you want to get into cowboy romance. So it's got all the big cowboy family drama, emotional depth, and lots of heat. If you're looking for a cowboy that has plenty of growth, some grit, and a whole lot of chemistry, then add Branded as Trouble to your Blooming Acres Farm Square. Now, if you're looking for something that has a bit of a community involvement, then I definitely recommend a cowboy hero with people skills that are set to 0 and a heroine who challenges everything that he thinks he knows. This is A Thorn in the Saddle by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Jesse Pleasant is the big broody rancher brother, the one with a temper, a public image problem, and a Senate committee breathing down his neck. Lily Grace is a brainy tech consultant with 0 patience for hot-headed cowboys who mess with her dad's love life. Their chemistry is instant but totally chaotic until Jesse starts showing his softer side, including a very memorable date auction moment that changes everything. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's funny, it's full of that emotional payoff. Plus, it's a black cowboy romance with actual therapy and community involvement, and we love to see that. A Thorn in the Saddle brings softness, slow burn, and some of the best growth arc in the cowboy romance space. And now we're going to outer space. He's a silent alien rancher. She's on the run from a space mob. They're in a marriage of convenience, and it's very weird, very hot, and very good. Married to an Alien Cowboy by Ursa Dax is chaotic in the best way. Our human heroine flees Earth and ends up on a distant ranching colony where the only way to stay safe is to marry a very large, very quiet alien cowboy named Solar. He barely speaks. He avoids her like she's radioactive. His eyes glow every time he looks at her, but he's also kind, protective, and definitely catching feelings in secret. There are cows, there are stars, and there is a deeply awkward forced proximity. Plus, the emotional arc is surprisingly wholesome. If you want your cowboy romance romance with horns and space cattle, then Married to an Alien Cowboy fits the Blooming Acres prompt with a side of sci-fi space opera. And because we are doing a new series over on Substack where we're deep diving the evolution of the romance genre across the decades, I wanted to also include a vintage cowboy romance as well. So what if your cowboy romance had some kidnapping, revenge, and the most iconic 1980s cover art in the genre? Tender in the Storms by Johanna Lindsey is peak vintage cowboy romance. It has a strong-willed heiress escaping an arranged marriage and a rugged Arizona rancher who sees her as the perfect pawn in his long game of revenge. But plot twist, they fall for each other hard, and there is maximum drama. Now this one is messy, it's melodramatic, and it's a little bit unhinged, but honestly, that's kind of the point. So just go into it expecting what is a 1980s romance, and buckle in because you're gonna be in for a ride. Lucas Holt is the blueprint for the emotionally repressed historical cowboy hero. So if you want to complete your Blooming Acres prompt with something that it's a retro classic that defined a generation, then Tender is the Storm will deliver. And those are the 5 books that I recommend for Blooming Acres Farm. I do have a whole post with more farmer heroes and tons more cowboy romances that I will leave linked down below so you can check out even more recommendations for this prompt. So whether you want an emotionally intelligent cowboy or complete chaos of an alien ranch, the Blooming Acres Farm prompt has room for all of it. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be reading for this prompt, or drop your favorite cowboy or farmer romances in the comments as well so I can add them to my list. I hope that you found some recommendations that will help you find something that you want to read for the Blooming Acres Farm prompt. I will have more recommendations for another prompt coming up next week. And if you are doing Romanceopoly and you are stuck with any prompts that you don't know what to read, just shoot me a DM and I will try to put together a list of recommendations for you. But for today, that is it. I hope you find something wonderful to read this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!